Turquoise waves crash against golden shores as the wonders of Costa Rica unfold before your eyes. This is a land where pristine beaches frame lush rainforests and amazing wildlife appears at every turn. Waterfalls plunge from volcanic heights into crystal pools, while islands rise from sapphire seas, creating nature's perfect symphony along two different coastlines. Despite covering merely 0.03% of Earth's surface, Costa Rica hosts nearly 5% of the planet's biodiversity. The Arenal Volcano rises majestically above Lake Arenal, while nearby La Fortuna waterfall plunges into emerald pools. In Monteverde cloud forest, resplendent quetzals flash like living jewels, while jaguars patrol the ancient pathways of Corcovado National Park. On the Caribbean coast, Tortuguero's canals weave through wetlands teeming with crocodiles and turtles. The Pacific shores of Manuel Antonio and Marino Balena offer different wonders, where whales breach offshore and monkeys swing through beachfront forests. From the crater lakes of Poas and Irazu to the sun-drenched beaches of Tamarindo and Montezuma, Costa Rica stands as a living tribute to nature's creativity. This is a nation where 1/4 of the land remains protected wilderness, embodying the philosophy of pura vida, the pure life that flourishes when humans choose to celebrate rather than dominate the natural world. Along Costa Rica's Caribbean coast, a maze of waterways winds through an emerald wilderness where ancient reptiles return to ancestral beaches. This protected wilderness stretches across 77,000 acres, where rivers and lagoons create Central America's most important green turtle nesting site. Dense rainforest meets the sea here, forming a maze of waterways that locals call the Amazon of Costa Rica. No roads reach this remote sanctuary. Only boats navigate these ancient channels. The Tortuguero wetlands spread like a vast green carpet beneath towering trees. Fresh water from the mountains mixes with salt from the Caribbean, creating perfect conditions for incredible biodiversity. Caimans drift silently through dark waters, while howler monkeys announce dawn from the canopy above. Over 300 bird species call these marshes home, from tiny hummingbirds to great blue herons stalking fish in the shallows. Canal boat routes wind through this watery wilderness like nature's own highways. Local guides steer narrow vessels past walls of vegetation where sloths hang motionless from branches. These waterways connect remote villages to the outside world, just as they have for generations. Morning mist rises from the surface as boats glide past giant trees draped in vines and orchids. Sea turtles return to these beaches between July and October, following instincts older than memory. 4 different species nest along Tortuguero's shores, with green turtles arriving in greatest numbers. The wetlands filter rainwater before it reaches the ocean, maintaining the delicate balance these ancient creatures need. This is wilderness in its purest form, where nature sets the schedule and humans remain respectful visitors. Along the eastern shoreline, where jade forests kiss azure waters, Costa Rica's Caribbean coast unfolds its unique cultural tapestry. This eastern shore moves to its own rhythm, distinct from the Pacific side. Palm trees lean over white sand beaches, while coral reefs shelter beneath warm waters. The air carries hints of coconut and salt, mixed with the sounds of reggae drifting from colorful wooden houses. Cahuita National Park protects one of Costa Rica's most important coral reef systems. The park stretches along 8 kilometers of coastline, where jungle trails lead to hidden beaches. White-faced capuchin monkeys leap through almond trees, while sloths hang motionless in the canopy above. The reef itself hosts over 35 coral species, creating underwater gardens where parrotfish, angelfish, and sea turtles glide through crystal waters. Puerto Viejo de Talamanca pulses with Caribbean soul just south of the park. This laid-back beach town grew from a small fishing village into a cultural crossroads. Bicycles outnumber cars on the sandy roads that connect surf breaks, cacao farms, and beachfront cafes. The famous Salsa Brava wave draws experienced surfers to challenge its powerful break over the reef. Local Bribri and Afro-Caribbean communities maintain their traditions here, sharing their knowledge of medicinal plants and chocolate making with visitors who seek authentic connections. Hidden in the shadow of ancient fire and stone, La Fortuna draws visitors with its promises of adventure and natural beauty. This charming town rests at the base of Arenal Volcano, one of the world's most active volcanic formations until its recent dormancy. Streets here run straight toward the perfect cone that dominates the horizon. Adventure seekers and nature lovers gather in this gateway to Costa Rica's volcanic heartland. La Fortuna town pulses with energy, drawn from its dramatic surroundings. Local markets overflow with tropical fruits, while the scent of fresh coffee drifts from small cafes. Howler monkeys call from trees that line the streets. The volcano watches over everything, its slopes covered in regenerating forest that tells stories of past eruptions. La Fortuna waterfall drops 230 feet through ancient rock formations into a turquoise pool below. The path down requires 500 steps carved into the hillside, each one bringing visitors closer to the thundering cascade. Mist rises through the canyon, feeding the moss and ferns that cling to volcanic walls. Swimming in the pool below offers relief from the tropical heat, while the waterfall's roar drowns out all other sounds. This waterfall formed when ancient lava flows created the perfect conditions for water to carve its path. The blue-green color comes from minerals dissolved from volcanic rock over thousands of years. Morpho butterflies dance through the spray, while toucans watch from branches overhead. Here, volcanic force and flowing water show nature's ability to create beauty from raw power. As we journey through Costa Rica's varied terrain, the commanding presence of Arenal demands our attention. The Arenal volcano dominates the northern plains with its near-perfect cone shape. This 5,437-foot giant stands as one of the country's youngest and most active volcanoes. Its slopes tell a story of destruction and rebirth that has shaped both the land and the people who call this region home. Arenal Volcano National Park protects 29,692 acres of primary rainforest and volcanic terrain. The volcano remained dormant for centuries before erupting violently in 1968, destroying 3 villages. Today, trails wind through forests, recovering from past lava flows. Wildlife thrives here. Howler monkeys call from the canopy, while coatis forage along pathways. The park preserves 4 distinct life zones, from lowland rainforest to montane wet forest. Lake Arenal stretches below the volcano as Costa Rica's largest lake. This man-made reservoir covers 33 square miles and reaches depths of 200 feet. Created in 1979 for hydroelectric power, the lake now generates most of the country's renewable energy. Strong winds sweep across its surface, making it Central America's premier windsurfing destination. The lake's shores host diverse bird life, including great blue herons and kingfishers. Tucked away in the misty northern highlands, a sleeping volcanic giant guards one of nature's most vivid displays of color. This dormant colossus rises 6,286 feet above sea level, its forested slopes hiding one of nature's most remarkable color displays. Ancient lava flows created the foundation for rainforests that now blanket these volcanic heights. Here, chemical reactions between minerals and water produce sights that seem almost impossible. Tenorio Volcano National Park protects 47 square miles of pristine wilderness around this sleeping volcano. 4 distinct climate zones exist within the park boundaries, each supporting different communities of plants and animals. Tapirs leave tracks in the muddy trails, while 3-toed sloths hang motionless in the canopy above. The park shelters over 300 bird species, including the endangered great green macaw that nests in the tallest trees. Rio Celeste flows through the heart of this volcanic landscape, its waters colored an intense turquoise blue. 2 clear rivers meet at a point called Los Teñideros, where minerals from the volcano transform the water into this vivid shade. The color comes from suspended particles of aluminum silicate that reflect blue light in a specific way. Scientists only solved this mystery in 2013, though local people have marveled at the Blue River for generations. The trail to Rio Celeste's waterfall leads through primary rainforest, where strangler figs wrap around ancient trees. At the journey's end, a 90-foot cascade plunges into a pool of the brightest blue imaginable. Hot springs bubble up from volcanic vents nearby, their sulfur smell mixing with the sweet scent of tropical flowers. This hidden corner of Costa Rica shows how geological forces and tropical life combine to create pure magic. Shrouded in perpetual mist, where treetops touch the sky, a living tapestry of green awaits the curious traveler. This highland sanctuary sits at 4,600 feet above sea level, wrapped in mist that nourishes life found nowhere else. Here, moisture from passing clouds sustains an intricate web of plants and animals. The forest floor stays cool and damp year-round, creating perfect conditions for thousands of species to thrive. The Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve protects 26,000 acres of this precious habitat. Scientists have documented over 2,500 plant species within its boundaries, including 420 types of orchids alone. Moss drapes from every branch, while ferns carpet the ground in endless shades of green. The reserve shelters 100 mammal species, from tiny bats to prowling ocelots, plus 400 bird species that fill the canopy with song. Along the Sendero Perezoso Trail, visitors walk through nature's cathedral of green. This path winds gently through primary forest, where ancient trees tower overhead. Sloths move in slow motion through the branches, earning the trail its lazy name. Howler monkeys call through the mist, while hummingbirds dart between blooming flowers, their wings beating too fast for human eyes to follow. Venturing into the sun-drenched northwestern province, a landscape of contrasts awaits where volcanic forces shape both land and culture. Here in Guanacaste province, the landscape transforms into rolling savannas and dry tropical forests. This region holds its own wild secrets, where geothermal wonders bubble beneath ancient volcanic slopes. The gateway to these natural marvels begins in the provincial capital of Liberia. Liberia spreads across the lowlands as the White City, named for the limestone dust that once coated its colonial buildings. Founded in 1769, this city serves as the beating heart of Guanacaste's cowboy culture. Traditional sabaneros still ride these plains, maintaining centuries-old cattle ranching traditions. The Central Plaza anchors the historic district, where whitewashed churches and adobe houses tell stories of Costa Rica's colonial past. Northeast of the city, Rincón de la Vieja National Park protects one of Costa Rica's most active volcanic landscapes. The twin peaks of Rincón de la Vieja and Santa Maria Volcanoes dominate the skyline, their slopes cloaked in dry forest that shifts to cloud forest near the summit. steam vents pierce the earth, releasing sulfurous clouds into the tropical air. Mud pots bubble like natural cauldrons, while hot springs flow through mineral-rich channels carved by centuries of geothermal activity. The wider Guanacaste province stretches from Pacific beaches to volcanic highlands, forming Costa Rica's driest region. This land of cowboys and thermal springs represents a different face of the country's natural diversity. During the dry season, golden grasslands stretch toward distant mountains, while purple Cortez trees burst into bloom. When rains return, the landscape transforms into verdant pastures dotted with giant Guanacaste trees, the national symbol that gives this province its name. Hidden within Guanacaste's golden plains lies a wilderness where history and nature weave an extraordinary tale. This remarkable wilderness spans over 122,000 acres, from volcanic peaks to Pacific shores. Here, the rhythms of wet and dry seasons paint the landscape in changing colors throughout the year. The park preserves both natural wonders and pivotal moments in Costa Rican history. During the dry season from December to May, the forest transforms into a golden tapestry. Trees shed their leaves to conserve water, revealing wildlife that remains hidden during greener months. White-faced capuchin monkeys leap through bare branches, while howler monkeys announce dawn with their deep calls. Coatis forage along forest paths as deer emerge from thickets to graze in clearings. Bella Vista Fortress stands on a hilltop within the park, its weathered walls telling the story of Costa Rica's fight for independence. In 1856, this simple structure witnessed the Battle of Santa Rosa, where Costa Rican forces defeated invading filibusters in just 14 minutes. The original hacienda buildings remain preserved, their adobe walls and tile roofs unchanged since that decisive day. From the fortress grounds, views stretch across the dry forest to distant volcanoes on the horizon. Jutting into the Pacific's azure waters, the Papagayo Peninsula offers a symphony of secluded coves and sun-kissed beaches. This pristine stretch of land curves into the ocean, creating sheltered bays and hidden coves. Dry tropical forests meet azure waters here, where howler monkeys call from the canopy above quiet beaches. The peninsula forms part of Guanacaste province, where Costa Rica's driest climate produces landscapes distinct from the country's rainforest regions. South along the coast, Playa Flamingo spreads its white sand in a perfect crescent. This beach town balances natural beauty with gentle development, keeping its shores accessible to all. The sand here feels different, finer and whiter than most Pacific beaches. Sport fishing boats dot the harbor, while pelicans dive for their own catch in the shallows. Behind the beach, the town maintains its laid-back character despite growing popularity. Playa Hermosa lives up to its name, which simply means beautiful beach, This grey sand beach stretches for miles, backed by native trees that provide natural shade. The waves here roll in steadily, perfect for beginning surfers and swimmers alike. Local families gather on weekends, sharing the shore with visitors who appreciate its calmer atmosphere. The beach faces west, painting the sky in brilliant colors each evening. These northwestern beaches showcase Costa Rica's Pacific personality. Each offers something distinct, from the peninsula's exclusive coves to Flamingo's white sands and Hermosa's family-friendly shores. Together, they form a coastal tapestry where dry forests meet the sea, creating habitats for everything from howler monkeys to sea turtles. This region proves that Costa Rica's natural wealth extends far beyond its famous rainforests. Golden sands stretch beneath swaying palms as we arrive in Tamarindo, a vibrant jewel on Costa Rica's Pacific coast. This coastal town sits along the Nicoya Peninsula, drawing visitors with its golden sands and perfect surf breaks. The dry tropical forest meets the ocean here, creating a unique landscape where howler monkeys call from the trees while pelicans dive into the waves below. Tamarindo has grown from a quiet fishing village into one of Costa Rica's most accessible beach destinations. Playa Tamarindo stretches for miles, its golden sand warming under the tropical sun. The beach curves gently along the coast, offering different experiences at each section. Near the estuary, calm waters provide safe swimming for families. Further south, consistent waves attract surfers from around the world, making this one of Costa Rica's premier surf destinations. Sea turtles nest along these shores during certain months, their ancient ritual continuing despite the modern development nearby. Marina Las Baulas National Park protects one of the Pacific's most important nesting sites for leatherback sea turtles. These prehistoric giants, the largest of all sea turtle species, return to these beaches between October and March. The park encompasses both marine and terrestrial habitats, including mangrove swamps and dry forests. Rangers work tirelessly to protect the nesting sites, allowing controlled nighttime visits when tourists can witness these ancient creatures laying their eggs under starlit skies. The Tamarindo Wildlife Refuge extends the protection inland, preserving vital corridors for local wildlife. Howler monkeys swing through the canopy while iguanas bask on sun-warmed rocks. White-faced capuchin monkeys forage in the trees, their curious nature often bringing them close to hiking trails. The refuge includes both wetlands and dry forest, creating diverse habitats where over 150 bird species thrive, from magnificent frigate birds soaring overhead to tiny hummingbirds darting between flowers. Beyond Tamarindo, a string of pristine beaches dots Costa Rica's northern Pacific coastline, each with its own distinct character and charm. This stretch of coastline holds secrets that few travelers discover. Here, The dry tropical forest gives way to beaches where each grain of sand tells its own story. The province of Guanacaste guards these shores with ancient volcanic hills, watching over waters that shift from turquoise to deep sapphire. Playa Conchal spreads along the coast like a natural museum of the sea. Millions of tiny crushed shells create this beach instead of ordinary sand. Your feet sink into fragments of conchs, clams, and countless other shells polished smooth by centuries of waves. The water here stays crystal clear year-round, revealing schools of tropical fish just steps from shore. Local fishermen still launch their boats at dawn from this shell-covered beach. Further south, Playa Avellanas attracts those who understand the ocean's rhythms. This beach stretches for miles, with pale sand meeting consistent waves that roll in from the open Pacific. Mangrove estuaries border parts of the beach, creating nurseries for young fish and nesting grounds for birds. The beach remains mostly wild, with only scattered palms providing shade along its length. At low tide, natural pools form in the volcanic rock formations. Nestled within the arms of coastal woodland, where the rhythms of nature guide daily life, lies the peaceful community of Nosara. This coastal sanctuary sits on the Nicoya Peninsula, where howler monkeys wake the morning and sea turtles nest under starlight. Rivers wind through mangroves before meeting the sea, creating a landscape where wildlife thrives alongside a community that chose preservation over development. The town spreads across hillsides and valleys, connected by dirt roads that slow life to nature's pace. Nosara itself remains intentionally undeveloped, with no paved roads in its core. This choice preserves the natural environment that draws both wildlife and mindful visitors. The community consists of several small villages scattered among the trees, each maintaining its own character. Local families have lived here for generations, sharing their land with iguanas sunning on fence posts and coatis foraging through gardens. Playa Guiones stretches for 4 miles along Nosara's coast, its consistent waves drawing surfers from around the world. The beach runs north to south, bordered by tropical dry forest that turns golden in the dry season and emerald green when rains return. At low tide, the sand extends hundreds of feet, creating vast spaces for morning walks and sunset gatherings. Pelicans dive for fish just beyond the breakers, while frigate birds soar on thermal currents above. Cradled in a gentle bay along the Nicoya coast, Sámara offers visitors a softer side of Costa Rica's Pacific charm. This beach town sits along the Nicoya Peninsula, protected by a natural reef that keeps its waters calm and inviting. Palm trees lean over white sand beaches, while fishing boats bob in the gentle surf. The town maintains its authentic Costa Rican character, where local families have fished these waters for generations. Sámara Beach stretches for 4 miles in a perfect crescent shape. The offshore reef creates a natural swimming pool, making these some of the safest waters along Costa Rica's Pacific coast. Pelicans dive for fish in the early morning, while scarlet macaws fly overhead in pairs. At low tide, the exposed sand flats reveal tide pools filled with hermit crabs and colorful fish. Just minutes south lies Playa Carrillo, a quieter stretch of paradise. Coconut palms frame this pristine beach, their fronds rustling in the ocean breeze. The sand here gleams almost white, contrasting with the deep blue Pacific waters. Local fishermen still launch their pangas from this shore each dawn, continuing traditions passed down through families for centuries. The southern tip of Nicoya Peninsula cradles a trio of beach towns where artists, surfers, and wildlife find their own slice of paradise. Here in Montezuma, where jungle meets ocean, a different rhythm of life takes hold. This coastal stretch attracts those seeking unspoiled beaches and authentic experiences. 3 communities share this remarkable coastline, each offering its own interpretation of paradise. Montezuma itself sits where rivers tumble from forested hills into the Pacific. The town maintains a bohemian spirit that first took root in the 1980s. Local artisans display their work along dusty streets while howler monkeys call from the canopy overhead. The famous Montezuma waterfalls cascade through multiple tiers, creating natural swimming pools surrounded by tropical forest. White-faced capuchin monkeys often appear along the trails, watching visitors with curious eyes. Santa Teresa stretches along several miles of consistent surf breaks and powder-soft sand. This beach town draws surfers from across the globe to ride its reliable waves. The main road runs parallel to the ocean, lined with small hotels and open-air restaurants. At sunset, the sky transforms into shades of orange and purple, while pelicans glide low over the breaking waves. The beach extends far in both directions, offering space for everyone to find their own peaceful spot. Malpais marks the southern end of this coastal paradise. Its name, meaning bad country, comes from the rocky terrain early settlers encountered. Today, those same rocks create tide pools filled with colorful marine life at low tide. The beaches here feel wilder and more secluded than their neighbors to the north. Sea turtles nest on these shores during certain months, continuing ancient cycles under starlit skies. Together, these 3 communities form a coastal sanctuary where nature still sets the pace. A slender peninsula juts into the Pacific's warm embrace, where fishermen cast their nets and travelers begin island journeys. This coastal province stretches like a finger into warm waters, earning its name, which means sandy point in Spanish. Once Costa Rica's primary Pacific port, the city has transformed into a gateway for island adventures. Fishing boats bob alongside ferries in the harbor, while pelicans dive for their morning catch. The Paseo de los Turistas boardwalk runs along the shore for miles, offering views of both sunrise and sunset. Local families gather here as day fades, enjoying fresh ceviche and tropical fruit drinks. The old port buildings tell stories of coffee exports and maritime trade. Today, these waters serve a different purpose, carrying visitors to nearby island paradises. A short boat ride across crystal waters brings us to Isla Tortuga, where white sand beaches rival those found anywhere in the tropics. The island earned its name from its distinctive turtle-like shape when viewed from above. Palm trees lean over pristine shores, while gentle waves lap at volcanic sand. Snorkelers float above coral gardens, where angelfish and parrotfish paint the underwater world in brilliant colors. Protected as part of a marine reserve, Isla Tortuga maintains its natural beauty through careful conservation. Hiking trails wind through the interior forest, where howler monkeys announce the dawn. The surrounding waters host dolphins, sea turtles, and during certain months, migrating humpback whales. This small island captures the essence of Costa Rica's Pacific treasures in just a few square miles of paradise. A study in contrasts unfolds as we arrive in Jacó, where surf culture meets wild nature in a vivid Pacific tableau. This region showcases Costa Rica's incredible diversity, from bustling beach towns to ancient forests teeming with wildlife. Here, surfboards lean against palm trees while scarlet macaws soar overhead. The transition from sea to jungle happens in mere minutes, revealing nature's seamless artistry. Jacó stretches along the central Pacific coast with its dark volcanic sand beaches. Waves roll in consistently, drawing surfers from around the world to test their skills. The town pulses with energy day and night, offering a stark contrast to the surrounding wilderness. Behind the beachfront hotels and restaurants, the rainforest waits, its green walls rising sharply from the coastal plain. The Turquoise River flows beneath its famous bridge, where massive crocodiles gather in prehistoric congregation. Some measure over 15 feet long, basking on muddy banks like living fossils. Visitors peer down from the bridge's railings, watching these ancient predators barely move in the tropical heat. The river serves as a vital corridor, connecting the mountains to the sea while supporting countless species along its journey. Carara National Park protects one of the last remaining stands of primary rainforest in the Central Pacific. This biological bridge connects the dry forests of the north with the humid forests of the south. Scarlet macaws nest in the park's tallest trees, their brilliant red feathers flashing against the green canopy. The forest floor hosts everything, from tiny poison dart frogs to prowling ocelots, each species playing its role in this complex ecosystem. The crown jewel of Costa Rica's mid-Pacific coast awaits us at Manuel Antonio, where forest and sea create a natural masterpiece. This coastal paradise sits along Costa Rica's central Pacific coast, drawing visitors into a world where nature shows off without restraint. White sand beaches curve between rocky headlands, while howler monkeys call from the canopy above. The region balances wild beauty with gentle accessibility, making it one of Costa Rica's most cherished destinations. Quepos serves as the gateway to this natural wonderland. Once a banana port, this small town now welcomes travelers heading to the nearby national park. The marina here hosts fishing boats that venture into waters rich with marlin and sailfish. Local markets overflow with tropical fruits, while the town's relaxed atmosphere sets the tone for the adventures ahead. Manuel Antonio National Park protects some of Costa Rica's most stunning coastal landscapes. Though small at just 7 square kilometers, the park packs incredible diversity into its boundaries. 3-toed sloths hang from cecropia trees, while white-faced capuchin monkeys raid beach picnics. The park's 4 beaches offer different experiences, from the calm waters of Playa Espadilla Sur to the hidden cove of Playa Escondido. Punta Catedral Trail leads hikers through the park's most dramatic scenery. This path winds across what was once an island, now connected to the mainland by a narrow strip of sand. The trail climbs through dense forest, where iguanas sun themselves on branches and toucans call from high perches. At the summit, both the Pacific Ocean and the park's beaches spread out below, offering views that capture the essence of Costa Rica's natural magnificence. A perfect whale's tail emerges from the ocean at low tide, nature's living sculpture along Costa Rica's southern Pacific coastline. This stretch of Costa Rica's southern coast brings together wild beaches, cascading waterfalls, and marine life in remarkable abundance. Here, the mountains meet the sea in ways that create both adventure and tranquility. The region serves as a gateway where rainforest gives way to ocean, and nature shows its dual personality. Dominical marks the northern edge of this coastal paradise. This small surf town sits where the Baru River meets the Pacific, creating perfect waves that draw surfers from around the world. The beach stretches for miles, backed by jungle-covered hills where howler monkeys announce each dawn. Local fishermen still launch their boats from the shore, continuing traditions that predate the arrival of international visitors. The town itself remains unpretentious, with open-air restaurants and small shops serving both locals and travelers. Nauyaka waterfalls hide in the mountains just inland from the coast. These twin falls drop a total of 200 feet through the rainforest canopy. The upper cascade plunges 140 feet into a natural pool perfect for swimming. The lower falls add another 60 feet, creating misty rainbows in the afternoon light. The hike to reach them winds through primary forest, where toucans call from the treetops and morpho butterflies flash electric blue wings. Local ranchers guide visitors on horseback through streams and jungle paths to reach these hidden pools. Uvita Beach forms the centerpiece of Merino Ballena National Park. At low tide, a natural sandbar extends into the ocean, creating the shape of a whale's tail when viewed from above. This geological wonder appears and disappears with the tides, constantly reshaping itself. From July through October, humpback whales arrive from Antarctica to give birth in these warm waters. Mothers teach their calves to breach and dive in the protected bay. Sea turtles nest on the beaches, while frigatebirds wheel overhead, completing the marine ecosystem that thrives along this spectacular coast. Tucked into a wild corner of the Osa Peninsula, where few roads venture, lies a coastal haven named for a famous explorer. This isolated peninsula on the Osa Peninsula's northern edge remains accessible only by boat or small plane. The journey itself becomes part of the adventure, crossing rivers and navigating coastal waters to reach this pristine sanctuary. Here, the rainforest tumbles directly into the ocean, creating a landscape where scarlet macaws fly over breaking waves. Drake Bay serves as the gateway to Corcovado National Park, often called the most biologically intense place on Earth. From the bay's rustic lodges, trails lead into primary rainforest, where tapirs leave tracks in the mud, and all four of Costa Rica's monkey species swing through the canopy. The shoreline alternates between rocky outcrops and hidden coves, each tide pool revealing its own miniature ecosystem. Sea turtles nest on these beaches, while humpback whales pass close to shore during their annual migrations. Sir Francis Drake supposedly anchored in these waters in 1579, giving the bay its name and sparking legends of buried treasure. Today's riches lie in the natural world. Poison dart frogs smaller than thumbnails, toucans calling from cecropia trees, and crocodiles basking where rivers meet the sea. The bay's waters hold their own wonders, with dolphins playing in the wake of boats and manta rays gliding through the depths. This corner of Costa Rica remains wild, a place where the forest's heartbeat sets the rhythm of each day. On the wildest edge of Costa Rica's Osa Peninsula lies a forest so full of life that scientists call it a living laboratory of evolution. This remote wilderness covers over 160 square miles of primary forest, mangrove swamps, and coastal habitat. Scientists call it the most biologically diverse place on the planet, where ancient trees tower above trails that wind through untouched jungle. The park shelters all four Costa Rican monkey species, tapirs, and the largest population of scarlet macaws in Central America. Within Corcovado's boundaries, life thrives in every layer of the forest. Harpy eagles nest in the emergent canopy, while poison dart frogs hop across the forest floor. Jaguars pad silently through the undergrowth, the apex predators of this complex ecosystem. Bull sharks patrol the river mouths where fresh water meets the sea. The park protects 500 tree species, creating a green cathedral where sunlight filters through leaves to reach ferns and orchids below. North of the park, the Zancudo mangroves form a different kind of wilderness. These tidal forests stretch along the coast, their tangled roots creating nurseries for countless marine species. Crocodiles glide through the brackish channels, while white ibis and roseate spoonbills wade in the shallows. The mangroves act as nature's buffer, protecting the coastline from storms while filtering nutrients that feed the offshore reefs. Local fishermen navigate these waterways in small boats, following routes used for generations through the maze of green tunnels. Rising through veils of mist, our path leads to the majestic heights of Poas, where Earth's primal forces remain visible. This active giant dominates the Central Valley skyline, rising 8,885 feet above sea level. Steam rises from its massive crater, while cloud forests cloak its slopes in perpetual mist. The volcano shapes both landscape and climate across this highland region. Poás Volcano National Park protects this geological marvel and its surrounding ecosystems. The main crater stretches nearly a mile wide, ranking among Earth's largest active volcanic craters. Sulfurous gases rise from the turquoise lake at its center, creating an otherworldly scene. On clear mornings, visitors witness the raw power of our planet's interior forces at work. A short trail through stunted cloud forest leads to Laguna Botos, an ancient crater now filled with pristine rainwater. This emerald lake sits peacefully where fire once erupted. Surrounded by dwarf vegetation adapted to the harsh, volcanic soil. The water remains cold year-round, reflecting the twisted branches of trees that struggle against constant wind and mist. Birds call through the fog, while the forest creates its own mysterious atmosphere. Beyond the volcanic peaks, Catarata del Toro plunges 300 feet into an extinct crater below. This waterfall drops through layers of ancient lava rock, creating one of Costa Rica's most dramatic cascades. The blue-tinted water flows from mountain springs high above, tumbling into pools where morpho butterflies dance in the spray. Surrounded by primary rainforest, this hidden wonder reveals the connection between volcanic geology and the water systems that sustain life throughout the region. Soaring above Costa Rica's central heartland, twin volcanic sentinels stand watch over the nation's fertile highlands. The Irazu and Turrialba volcanoes stand as powerful reminders of the forces that built this land. These peaks rise above the clouds, their slopes telling stories of fire and creation. Together, they form a volcanic corridor that has influenced both the landscape and the lives of those who call this region home. Irazu Volcano towers at 11,260 feet, making it Costa Rica's highest active volcano. The name comes from an indigenous word meaning thunder and earthquake mountain. On clear days, both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans become visible from its summit. The main crater holds a striking green lake that changes color with the seasons. Steam vents dot the lunar-like landscape, releasing sulfur-scented clouds into the thin mountain air. Within Irazu's volcanic complex lies the Diego de la Haya Crater, named after a Spanish governor from colonial times. This crater spans nearly 2,000 feet across and plunges 300 feet deep. Its walls show layers of volcanic ash and rock, each band marking a different eruption throughout history. The crater floor remains barren, a stark moonscape where few plants dare to grow. Scientists study this crater to understand how volcanoes shape and reshape themselves over centuries. Turrialba volcano stands as Irazu's restless neighbor, sending ash plumes into Costa Rican skies with increasing frequency. At 10,958 feet, it remains one of Central America's most active volcanoes. 3 craters mark its summit, with the central crater producing most of the current activity. Local farmers have learned to live with Turrialba's moods, as volcanic ash enriches their soil even while occasional eruptions force temporary evacuations. The volcano's name means White Tower in the indigenous Huatar language, referring to the white smoke that often crowns its peak. Nestled within Costa Rica's central highlands, the nation's capital city hums with cultural vitality and historical significance. San Jose spreads across the Central Valley, surrounded by volcanic peaks and coffee-covered hills. This capital city pulses with the energy of nearly 2 million people, where colonial architecture meets modern life. Here, the essence of Costa Rican culture comes alive through its markets, parks, and everyday rhythms. The Mercado Central awakens all the senses at once. Since 1880, this sprawling indoor market has served as the city's soul. Vendors call out their daily specials, while tropical fruits pile high in rainbow displays. The scent of fresh coffee mingles with grilled meat and sweet plantains. Local families shop alongside visitors, haggling over prices for everything from leather goods to medicinal herbs. This maze of narrow aisles holds over 200 stalls, each one a window into Costa Rican daily life. Parque La Sabana offers a different side of San Jose's character. Once the city's airport, this massive green space now serves as the capital's lungs. Families spread blankets under towering trees while joggers circle the paths. The old airport terminal has transformed into the Costa Rican Art Museum, its walls holding the nation's creative spirit. On weekends, the park fills with soccer games, picnics, and the laughter of children feeding ducks in the central lake. This 72-hectare oasis proves that even in the urban center, Costa Rica's connection to nature remains strong. As our journey concludes, we carry with us the magic of a land where nature still writes the rules. The wind carries birdsong through rainforest canopies, and everywhere you journey, the land feels alive. Patient, curious, and welcoming, it reveals its wonders to those who pause to notice. From golden Tamarindo to the protected wilderness of Corcovado, this remarkable country invites us to witness the harmony of nature undisturbed. It reminds us that there are still places where wildlife thrives and pristine landscapes remain, embodying the true meaning of pura vida. Click on the video appearing now to continue your journey through the wonders of our world, where more breathtaking destinations await your discovery.